Okay, now that I've finally recovered from that really long weekend, I can finally make a video of the Thurmont 2023 Luau. And for this one, we decided to be a bit goofy. Last year, my partner and I, we did USGIs in Vietnam, and now we're swinging to the other side. You'll see very clearly we both got our rice hats and black pajamas and mishmash a kit. I'm using my VZ58 that has been on the channel a lot. I've had it for a long time. My pistol is a CZ52. You'll notice after I say that is not me shooting, that's my partner. And he is using a Browning high power, and of all things a Draco, because he couldn't get a Form 1 approved in time. So this stage you saw, you both start in the car. One of you starts in the front, the other starts in the back. And then you shoot all of the pistol steel from inside. I had him start because I was using 7.62 Toke Rev and I didn't want to shoot a whole lot because that is expensive. And then after you're both done shooting, you run to these two VTACs, grab your rifles, and then engage some steel and rifle paper that is downrange. And it wasn't terribly difficult. The stage after this was the rifling stage, which I'm not going to comment on other than Finn switched to using an SKS, which he was able to get out to 300, but then his rifle had a malfunction he wasn't able to clear, so he just dumped it and left it for me to clean up, which I sadly wasn't able to do. I ran out of time. But that's typically what happens when one of the targets at 100 yards is like 2 inches across. I could barely see it in the shade. And you'll see he's trying to use the Draco just as a Draco is meant to be used. Sometimes with sling tension, mostly without. And we were playing around with it the day before, and it's about as hard as it looks. So for this stage, you both start on this 50-yard bay. There are 3 props in front of you that you can use. Your partner uses one, and then you have to use one of the other ones he didn't use. So effectively, once your partner uses one, it's out of play for you. He's using the spool, I'm going to be using the rooftop, and you just have to clear the plate rack. And then once your partner is done, he runs over to another bay where there's some pistol paper, and he shoots that. And then you have to wait for him to be done with pistol paper before you can step into the box. But you can be shooting the rifle portion while he's shooting the pistol, that's fine. And I actually do really well for this. Even though I have the bayonet fixed, I go 1 for 1 on this plate rack, which I was very proud of. I'm also using up not quite the last of, but getting near to the last of my Russian steel case ammo. I'm just convinced that that's never coming back. I think I might as well just live with it. I'm actually at the point where I'm reloading 7.62x39, and it is a bizarre experience. And I really don't like how the majority of brass is large rifle primers. I know Hornady makes small rifle primer brass for 7.62x39, but that brass alone costs as much as loaded ammo, so it's just not worth it. You'll notice throughout this whole video that reloading the CZ52 is the thing that holds me back the most, just because it's a heel mag release, they don't drop free, and they're only 8 rounds each. So that's the thing that's going to slow me down a lot, especially on the second day, which I didn't record because we were kind of short-handed. I didn't have time to hand my phone off to people. This stage was pretty cool. You heard us both rack our pistols at the same time. So you actually start with your pistols condition 3, so mag inserted empty chamber. But not holstered, but between your legs, so at low ready. And then you both rack and engage the pistol steel and that one piece of paper in front of you. Of course, he finishes before me because his mags are 13 rounds and mine are 8. But I actually shot pistol really, really well on the first day. Not so much the second day, but I was cleaning up really good with the 52. I've actually played around with that, and I was able to hit a piece of torso steel at 200 yards with that within one magazine. I was quite impressed. And then you just both grab your pistols and clean up some steel and some rifle paper, which Finn had a bit of a harder time with than I did. I was able to get all that steel just shooting offhand, and he's having a harder time. We did get some penalties because of that, but we knew we weren't going to be placing well anyway, so that didn't really matter. And we didn't place very well, but we weren't dead last, which, considering the fact that we were the only people shooting limited that day, with iron sights no less, and one of which was a Draco, I consider that a feat. This one is basically just walking down, shooting a bunch of paper with rifle and C with pistol. If you notice that the quality seems to have changed, it's because this portion of the video was accidentally recorded in slow-mo. And so when I took the slow-mo effect out, the camera stabilization went away and the colors seemed to be a bit more saturated. But that's neither here nor there. That's just an accident. When I have stages like this, I try to at least use the bayonet on the gun if I can, at least one stage per match, excuse me. And here we got to do it twice. Although I keep saying we need to have stabbable targets again. We've done that once. I think I have a video of it, where we just stack a bunch of cardboard torsos together and have you stab it. That's a lot of fun. We should do that again. Regarding the gear, the sun hats were the MVP of this day, and the whole weekend, really. They did get in the way when I was shooting rifle a couple times, but they keep the sun off of you, and they keep the rain off. It poured on the second day of the match, the individual day, but my head stayed nice and dry, and a lot of my stuff did too, because the hat's just so wide, and it kept the water off of me. I really appreciate that. As far as the Czechoslovak gear that I was using went, I didn't have an AK chest rig, so I just used that. The main ammo pouch for rifle magazines gets really heavy, especially when it's fully loaded with 4 magazines of loaded ammo. It's really awkward to run with, and the whole day it was just rubbing up against my leg and I was hitting it, even though I had the belt set up quite high, like it was supposed to be used. The pack didn't get in the way. All I had in there was just some, like my car keys and a spare change of clothes. The rifle magazine pouch was really the thing that got in my way the most, and I didn't really like that. This stage is the last one of the day. You both start seated, you both engage your relative rifle paper on the sides, and then you go up to the jiggulator, the ever-famous jiggulator, and once you get on, then you just knock down all the rifle steel in front of you. And you both couldn't engage the same rifle paper, but you both could engage as much pistol steel as you wanted. And the jiggulator intimidates some people. I mean, all you have to do is literally nothing. You just stand there, and as long as you don't move, it doesn't move. Especially when you have 2 people on it, it's as steady as solid ground. I don't think it really adds anything to the match. Unless something else is happening. I hear people talk about if you're using a shotgun or a bigger rifle. I mean, I've shot off of this thing with an Elman Garand, and I don't think it really changed anything. There wasn't any spinner this match either, and we've had to shoot spinners off the jiggulator too, and again, I don't think it really added anything. Shooting this match on the second day kind of sucked because the round count didn't change a whole lot, and you had less time to engage targets, so I timed out on at least 1 or 2 of them. And this one was also one because, again, I almost ran out of magazines on the second day. But the Luau was fun as always. I think next year I'm not going to do the second day just because that was a whole lot of work. I have to travel a lot farther now, and I didn't enjoy the second day. I mean, it was fun to see all my friends there, but I definitely got more out of the first day than I did the second, because the first day, and there's the team match, that's really the experience that I'm going there to get. So next year, and also for the Igloo next year, I'll just be doing 1 day, and then I won't have to take a second day off on Monday to recover and drive home. So hope you enjoyed this. This is my first match upload in a while, I think. I've just been kind of swamped and really tired. A lot of the matches I'm not really set up to record at. I'm just there to have a good time or to get through it. So yeah, the next match I'm at is going to be New Holland probably, and Welsh Mountain. So I'll try to get some footage from there too. See ya.